All right, guys, it's been a minute since we've done a video. Let me explain what happened. We had kind of a scary situation the other day. Wouldn't you say, Wendell? Or
Yep.
pretty scary. We have this thing where every December, we always leave the what is it, the year with a bang.
Yeah.
So December 31st of every year, we've gone to the range, and I've known Wendell now 2 years.
Yep.
So this is our second year we went to the range. We didn't record it because we didn't think anything interesting was really going to happen. But while we were there, we had a casing failure.
Well, I'm not sure I would really call it a case failure as much as we had a severely overpressure round. When we got Cody's rifle open and we were trying to get the round out of the chamber, we ripped the head of this off. But as you can see right here, it appears that we had a case head separation. Well, not really so much a case head separation. This was very overpressured. You can see where we had brass flow on the head of the case. And that brass flow went back into the ejector. We do still have the primer that came out of here, and you can see that there is carbon around the primer where we had gases that flowed back around the primer. And anyways, we got back to the shop.
Well, let me say one thing first. So there's going to be some criticism about this because they're going to say that we put too much gunpowder, and we took the casing over the maximum pressure. Let me state right now, we have gunpowder. We have 3 pounds of this gunpowder, and we shot 2 pounds of it.
Yeah.
2 pounds of the gunpowder. The gunpowder we worked up a load, and every time we start a new can, the first 2 cans, we would start over because we thought it would change. The third time we came into a can, we just went ahead and because it hadn't changed. The pressure between cans hadn't changed. So we didn't think we needed to work up a new load situation.
Well, all three cans of powder were the same lot number.
Yeah, they're all the same lot number. And there's some, right there.
So there's the case head stuck in the bolt.
What we think happened is that this gunpowder was made in it's through the stuff we've done. With a very highly educated guess, this was made in the early 90s, the gunpowder.
80s,
late 80s, early 90s. And what had happened is like sometimes people will open cans and like look and smell in them, and they'll reclose them. And what happens is that lets outside air get in there, and what you said, it dries the gunpowder out.
Well, most gunpowder, especially single base, should be between 1.5% moisture content. If you unseal the can, I mean, shelf life could be infinite as long as the can's sealed.
Mm-hmm.
But once you open the can, it will start to degrade.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how many times or if the lid was even tight on it once it was opened.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it dried the powder out. It's the only thing that makes sense. We've torn rounds apart. We have gone through everything, every possible scenario. We were shooting. We've already shot 450 rounds through this rifle with identical loads with this
same gunpowder,
same powder, same bullet, same charge. I mean,
same lot number, everything.
We worked this load up. The only difference between this time and last time is we started using the third can of powder.
Yeah.
And it's all identical lot numbers. So somewhere down the road, this powder is, at this point, that powder is probably close to 40 years old.
Between 35 and 40 years old.
It lost the seal and had to have started drying out. And when powder dries out, as it dries out, it will start, the burn rate becomes faster. So,
and then we determined that those casings fail. Those casings fail at like what, 75,000 psi.
Well, to make brass flow to put ejector marks on
Yeah.
a cartridge, you've got to be hitting somewhere around 70,000 psi. This didn't just leave an ejector mark. The actual brass flowed into the ejector and stuck the case in the bolt. So, and along with rupturing at the head. So this had to have been probably 75. I would guess this probably was somewhere between 75 and 80,000 psi.
Yeah, but the cool thing is we show me this fail safes in the gun saved the gun.
Well, a lot of the powder went back through the um, flowed back through the bolt and came out the side port on the of the receiver.
Yeah, there's a port on the side here,
And
right there.
so,
That relieves the pressure out of the chamber when you have a failure.
yep. And this was definitely a failure.
And then it blew the
Well, all that powder coming back through the action, um, opened the it opened the
up like that.
it caused it to drop the plate open.
So
So
what we have to do now is, now that we've had this catastrophic problem, the thing we have to determine is the gun's, how damaged was the gun in this, and is the gun still safe to shoot before we take it out again. Now the upside that we have is Wendell is he has a lot of cool toys.
yeah.
And he has a borescope.
Well, let's start with one of my first thoughts is I was wondering if this brass was full length sized after 3 firings. This was the 5th loading. The first 3 firings were all neck sized. So neck sized, fired 3 times, full length sized, and annealed after the 3rd. And this was the 4th loading of this box. This would have, at the end of this box, would have been 500 rounds. So anyway, so that being said, I was thinking excessive head space in here, and maybe we overworked the brass when we full length sized it. So I've already head spaced this, and it does head space good.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Head space is right on the money. Go gauge closes, no problem. No go gauge that will not close on it. So we know the head space is good. So we're going to look now. We're going to go inside the barrel, especially the chamber, the neck, and we're looking to see if we can see any signs of any kind of a cracking or anything in there. So we're going to have a look. So
let's go get that set up, and we'll be right back.
Yep. All right, guys, we're borescoping the barrel. I'm coming in from the muzzle on this one. Looking for any kind of anomalies we might have.
So this works here. This is, you can see
rifling. Yeah. The other thing we're doing too is, as we're going down the barrel, we're looking to make sure we don't have any bulges. Everything's looking pretty uniform. Huh. Kind of strange how that changes. That's because the finish is still intact. It's a bit early on.
Well, it's 26 inches long.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're now at the throat.
It got hot in there, huh?
I got hot.
And this was, we just cleaned it. This is the first firing, the first bullet.
Yeah, let me get back out to the throat. How's it look to you?
Looks like it did before.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any cracking.
Well, that's heat cracking, but I mean,
Well, you're gonna have that. Oh, let's look in. All right, let's go back to, we're going to come in from the chamber end now. All right, so we're now inside the chamber. All right, let's see if we can make a circle and not lose focus. Wait, it all the way up.
You can tell it gets pretty hot there when they're shooting those. That's why we
Well,
let them cool down
if
too.
you notice all of this carbon right here, that's from that, for that case head. All that carbon that flowed back out of the, that's why you got all that black inside that chamber. So that's right at the, this is right where, this is the portion of the case of the, or the chamber right where the failure was. I mean, we are just, you can tell we're just barely inside the chamber. So
Yeah, I don't see anything out of normal.
you see some machining marks. Yeah. Let's go up a little bit farther. See how now we're a lot less carbon up here.
Yeah. Well, I think that
I think we escaped unscathed.
well, it's due to the thanks to the fail safes that are built into the rifle too.
Remington's one of the strongest actions on the market. So, all right.
So we got off pretty lucky.
You know, we definitely dodged a bullet, if you will.
So yeah, there's the other part of the part where the gas comes out if this fails.
Yep.
And this lines up with a port on the side of the rifle.
Mm-hmm. It does. When that
So
round all the way down when the chamber's closed. So all right.
but I think the gun looks safe, but that's the thing. You can't, when you have a big failure like this, it's not very wise to just go ahead and you make sure you inspect it.
Yep.
Normally, if I didn't have Wendle, I would have to go to a gunsmith and have him inspect it. Just because if that chamber's the chamber is compromised, then you'll get hurt. So
Yeah.
don't want to do that. So, anyways,
So,
I think we're gonna go inside the house now, right?
yeah, we're gonna go in and we're gonna tear some rounds apart, measure powder, show you guys what we were doing.
And then we'll show you the lots and the cans and all the. All right, cool. All right, stand by for us to go inside the house. It's out here. We're out in the shop. We got to go in the house. So
Yep.
let's go get reset up in there.
All right, guys. We're inside the office where I do all the reloading, as you can tell by
the copious amounts of reloading equipment and gunpowder.
Yeah, I keep a handful of powders on this shelf that I'm working with currently.
And then there's more back there.
And then there's
there's
a big cabinet that's full. Okay, so this is the ammo that we load when we got the overpressure round for Cody. We're just gonna tear one apart.
So here's how it came out right here. So this is the box of rounds we had built.
Yeah. And the first round that Cody shot was in this back corner. So we're gonna tear one apart. Oop, not quite there. I think that did it. All right.
So check that out. It literally knocks.
We'll be careful that we recover all the powder. All right. We're going to take pull the bullet out. Powder dispenser's already warmed up and it is zeroed. Because one of the first things I thought was, did we screw up the recipe and overload it?
There it is, 45 straight.
Right on the money at 45.
Yeah, no cuts, nothing.
Yep.
Can we see it? Let's see.
Yeah.
45 right there. Cool.
So we're right on the money. The last box of ammo we shot through Cody's rifle was this one right here. And same recipe, shooting 45 grains. These were 175 Mesh Kings. If you look at that brass, you'll notice, I mean, there is no signs of overpressure on these. We still got well-defined shoulders on the primers. We're not cratered. This brass has now been shot 5 times. The other thing too is this is all the poo brass. Now, last time Cody shot the box, he lost a piece of brass, and well, there's a spare piece to get the box back up to 50. This was shot 5 times. This was shot 4. This was the 5th loading. This would have brought both boxes up to being loaded 5 times, which would be 500 rounds. We were also talking, and this is the powder. This can was opened to load this box. Here's 2 of the previous cans, and there's another can that Cody has at his house. We've actually shot 3 pounds of this powder through the rifle. We started with 4 pounds of this powder that was all same lot numbers.
Yeah, here's the lot numbers. You can see them.
Yeah, we got through the first 3 pounds of this powder, and then we get to the 4th one, and that's when everything went off the track, went off the rails.
Well, they're cool looking cans, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the powder, when powder deteriorates, it discolors. All of that powder is still very much black. The powder smells good. When you look at the inside of the can, there is no sign of rust inside. Let me put it back in this little bowl. A little easier to see there. But there is no visual sign that there's any problem with this powder.
And you can't double load it.
Well, no, because 45 grains in this round is right at 100% charge. So it would be damn near impossible to double charge this.
Yeah.
So you might be able to squeeze in 1 or 2 more grains of powder, but 1 or 2 more grains of powder is not going to give us that pressure spike that we had off that first round. So, and if you notice on these old cans, the way they were sealed, it was kind of an epoxy inside the lid. There's no telling if this cap got left loose on there where it wouldn't have sealed up good. But if this powder did dry out, it definitely could cause the problem that we're seeing, we've saw. Other than that, I mean, that is the only variable in this equation that is different about this box is that can was open to load this.
Yeah. So we haven't, and we came up with a powder with a recipe over 3 pounds of powder.
Over 3 pounds of powder and 450 rounds. We've and only that, we loaded some 300 Savage off of that powder,
and it worked fine too.
And it worked fine. So
yeah, this one's just a fluke, and sometimes when you get older powder, that's the risk you take.
Yep. And if somebody had opened this, left the cap loose on there, did not get it sealed back up, with this powder being as old as it is, I mean, it could have sat on the shelf for 10 years with a loose cap, and
there you go.
It started drying out. And when powder does dry out, it it impacts the burn rate, and it will burn faster. And a faster burning powder is going to produce more pressure.
And then you get what we got. So now we got what?
44 more rounds to tear apart. And we are not going back to any of this powder. It is done.
Yeah, we don't want to break my gun.
No, I think we got lucky and we dodged a catastrophic event with this.
Well, I like to keep my face intact.
Yeah, you had some powder blowback on your cheek.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're back to the drawing board as far as what we're going to do for load. So we'll start over. And in case you want to criticize, yes, this box was shot with 175 grain Match Kings. We have shot the 178 ELDMs before with this thing, with this. And also, the other part of it too is we had set on Cody's rifle, 20K jump was 2.242, cartridge base to ogive. And also double check that too to make sure that we didn't jam around, because if you jam around, you can also cause a velocity spike. And I did measure some of these up. This one, 2.247. I mean, that's 5 thousandths off of 20K. So
we went through this whole entire thing to figure out, because we don't want to replicate that.
No. But when something like this happens, you have to know why. Yeah. And the only variable that has changed on any of this was that can of powder.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 2.245, 2.242 was what we were shooting for. I mean, we're within literally 3 thousandths of being right at that 20K jump. So we didn't jam the round. We did not overcharge.
And you've been reloading ammo, what, 35, 40 years?
I started reloading when I was 16 with pistol ammo. I'm 57. Been doing it 41 years. I have never had a catastrophic failure of a round like this before, ever. And I have loaded hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo. At one point, I used to work for Hodges Gun Works. I did all his load development for his. Stacy built a lot of Wildcats. He did a lot of custom rifle building. He had a lathe on his back porch. He was a machinist by trade, and he would build custom rifles for people in Wildcat cartridges. Once he had the rifle done, he used to bring me the brass, bullets, and powder, and I did all of his load development.
So this isn't just
this is something that at this point for me, with the amount of reloading I've done, the amount of shooting I've done, this should never have happened. And the only variable that has changed here is this one can of powder. So
alrighty.
So anyways, guys,
if you like what we've done here, like and subscribe, tell your friends, share the video, look for our merch down in the link. There'll be a link to our merch store down there to help if you want to help maintain some of the videos we've been making, help pay for some of this stuff. Go ahead and buy a shirt. There's some really cool stuff on there. Wendell has an example right here.
Yes, I love this shirt. Of course, I'm a sniper. I shoot a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, so
just kind of a pun. You got people that love the Creedmoor, and you got people that hate the Creedmoor.
So if you like the Creedmoor, go buy a shirt.
Hey, yeah. Well, there's all kinds of shirts up there. So, and we're trying to come up with. Hey, if you have an idea for a shirt, let us know. So,
yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching.